Hi fourth graders! In this video I'm going to show you how to multiply whole numbers using the abstract area model. And of course we know there's many strategies to multiply, but today I'm going to show you one of them, and that's the abstract area model. So we're going to start with two whole numbers, 35 times 27, and the first step is to change them into friendly numbers. Friendly numbers just means that they're two numbers that are easier to multiply. So 35 I'm going to change into 30 and 5. And 27 will be 20 and 7. So I essentially just split up the tens and the ones. So I now have two friendly numbers for each of our factors. Now I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I have to label it. So one factor is going to go on the side, and the other factor is going to go on the top, and we're going to use the friendly numbers. So I'm going to put 30 and 5 on the side, 20 and 7 on the top. It doesn't matter if 27 goes on the side or the top, but what does matter is that you keep the friendly numbers together. We can't have 20 up here next to 30. The 20 needs to be next to the 7, and the 30 needs to be next to the 5. Now each number needs to have its own row or column. So since I separated it, now 30 has its own row, 5 has its own row, 20 has its own column, and 7 has its own column. Now we just find the area of each box. So area is length times width. So we're going to multiply the length times the width and find the area of each of these four boxes. So the first one, we're going to do 30 times 20, and that is 600. Then we're going to do 30, because it's in the 30 row, times 7, and that is 210. And it doesn't matter the order you go, you can fill in any box in any order as long as they're all filled in. This box will be 5 because it's in the 5 row, 5 times 20 because it's in the 20 column, and that's 100. And our last box is going to be 5 times 7, that's 35. The nice thing about abstract area model is that once all of the boxes are full, you know that you're done multiplying. Now we're just going to take the numbers in each of these boxes and add them together to get our product. I always like to take out the numbers and stack them. That way I know that the ones and the tens and the hundreds are in the right places. So I took the four numbers that are in these boxes and I stacked them to add. And when you add up 600 plus 210 plus 100 plus 35, you get 945. So our product of 35 times 27 is 945. So this is the abstract area model, and I quickly want to go over one other example because sometimes you get confused of how many rows and columns you should have in your abstract area model. So now I have 14 times 50. I'm going to change them into friendly numbers. 14 I'm going to split into 10 and 4. Took the 10s and the 1s. Now 50 is actually already a friendly number, so you don't have to do anything to it. So we're going to draw our rectangle for the abstract area model. And again, I'm going to put one of the factors on the side and one on the top. Now each number needs its own row or column. So 10 needs its own column. So now 10 has its own column, 4 has its own column, and 50 already has its own row, so you don't have to cut it into another row. You're already done setting up your abstract area model. So this is important because if you did happen to cut it, I know a lot of students will put a 0. 0 times 10 is 0, and 0 times 4 is 0, so that row is already kind of canceled out. So you don't need another row. So we're just going to cross it out. So now we just follow the area, so length times width. So this box is going to be 50 times 10, which is 500. And this box is going to be 50 times 4, which is 200. Now that all of our boxes are full, we're going to add them together. This one you might be able to do mental math, so 500 plus 200, and that is 700. So that means the product for 14 times 50 is 700. So this was the abstract area model. The most important thing is to first change the number into friendly numbers. To set up the abstract area model box correctly, make sure that one factor is one side and the other factor is on the top. And to not have too many rows or columns, you only need one row and one column for each of the numbers.